Hello, hello. It's May 16th, and it's time to talk.
Hola, hola, everybody.
Ooh, okay. May 16th, and we are talking about the chain method.
A chain method.
The chain
The
method.
chain method, okay.
Whose method is this? Let's figure it out.
I have not heard of chain method, but I've heard, yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Okay. Epictetus has a quote today. If you don't wish to be a hothead, don't feed your habit. Try as a first step to remain calm and count the days you haven't been angry. I used to be angry every day. Now every other day. Then every third or fourth. If you can make it as far as 30 days, thank God. For habit is first weakened and then obliterated. When you can say, I didn't lose my temper today, or the next day, or for 3 or 4 months, but kept my cool under provocation, you will know you are in better health.
Very nice. Excellent.
I love it.
Yeah, this is ultimately like he's talking about how to form a habit or how to break a bad habit or well, so it's interesting, right? Like bad, let's say if we call it a bad habit, something, yeah, that needs to be replaced with some different habit of some sort, right? Like you need to be doing something else in that time when you were doing that bad
So
thing.
maybe here it's like keeping your cool under provocation as opposed to getting angry. So it's like every time I feel the hot-headedness of anger, there's the mechanism that comes in to say, okay, now it's time to keep cool. I'm doing something different. I'm making a different choice right now than how I would.
Yeah, like seeing the provocation, almost like seeing the like, oh, like I'm angry, like oh, but something got me into this hot-headed state, let's say, and yeah, so it's not necessarily like looking for what got me into this hot state, but like oh, this is a provocation. It wants me to be involved in this way, and that is what I need to not do.
Yeah, it's almost like it doesn't. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
it does matter what created it. Like that needs to be addressed.
Absolutely.
But the important thing is to be
not getting
like,
involved or something.
hey, this is a moment where I'm feeling hot-headed. Normally, I would just let my thoughts turn immediately into something I'm saying or doing, and I would just go out of control, basically. But now I'm making a different choice, which is to keep cool in this situation.
Dude, can I tell you something? This is probably one of the hardest things that I am going through, of like how to allow myself to have emotions, but expressing them in like I don't want to say controlling them, because control means like I'm putting them down. Don't have them. No, I want to have it. I want to be angry, but I don't want to be
Communicate.
pissed off.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like yelling and be like I want to be like, oh, wow, that doesn't fit well. And
Right.
that I would like to call anger.
Yeah.
But that's like so difficult. Like the way I am maybe myelinated, or how I learned this, and who knows if this is also like genetic somehow too, like it's like,
If you lose your cool a lot.
well, and when I say genetic, I mean like when you're a kid, right? You might not see a behavior on others that they are angry around you, and that's how you pick it up. You might pick it up by trying different things, and you have the emotion of anger, so all of a sudden you stumble upon it, and all of a sudden when you are angry, you get something from life, and now you start using it as a tool to get things, like get your kids to go do something. You get angry and now they're doing it, so you're like, okay, that worked, right? So you would kind of start using it, but the thing is, it's like it's not if we look into it more, anger is so important as an emotion, but so devastating as an expression.
Well, and it's interesting because it's also so intense, and
So
the
intense. Yeah,
intensity,
it's like,
I think, makes it so that it's really hard to get under control.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you hear about people saying, I have problems with my emotions, I mean, 9 times out of 10, they're saying,
anger.
I have problems with anger.
Yeah.
Because
anger or sadness or some of
depression.
these depression could be there too, for sure.
And that's there for a different reason.
Different reasons. But yes, they're not talking about I'm having a hard time expressing
my calmness.
My calmness or something, right?
Yeah, like my joy, like
Yeah.
it's such a problem for me. Maybe excitement, and excitement is like the same kind of energy level as anger, but it's different content. It's like more positive content.
Yes.
But typically when you hear people talk about the problems with emotions, it's with the anger. One, because it's hard to personally control, and then 2, because the consequences are so devastating in a lot of cases, you know?
Yeah,
it's like it can escalate really quickly, it can become physically violent.
But go ahead. I was gonna say, because like what I really like is about that the breaking of that habit is like we can't say to ourselves like I'm done being angry and then I don't get angry. That never works. Like, and I can say this to myself 100 million times.
Right.
It never freaking works, right? And or even like, this is why I'm saying it's kind of like a habit, almost addiction type of a thing, because it's like when I was like quitting cigarettes, for example. Like I remember it wasn't like, oh, this day I am done.
Yeah.
No, there's thinking about it. There's all this like getting ready for it while you still,
There's the
while I'm still doing it.
You say to yourself, I quit a dozen times before any behavioral change actually happens.
Right. And so what I like about this is like acknowledging it again at some point throughout the day, like, hey, at the end of the day, let's say, hey, did I get angry today at something? Right? Like ask myself, and say, yeah, I was kind of peeved over there. Even yesterday when we were over there in the city, there was something. Remember, I was kind of like, these guys or something.
Yeah, it was you were asking the host at the restaurant, like, how long the wait was. And then, like, this other guy came in and he was like, well, I was here first. And you were like, well, I wasn't trying to, like, get ahead of you in line. I'm just trying to, like, get a wait time so I can decide if I want to eat here or not. Right. And so... And
that created a little, right? So I can say, well, yesterday, I did got a little bit something. It wasn't like I'm pissed off, flying out of a handle, but there is something like I don't like it. This is not sitting well. Right? Yeah. And that was actually maybe okay, because I say, well, I didn't actually get pissed off. Now, wouldn't have. I imagine myself. It would be so nice to have that guy say the same exact thing, like, hey, you don't cut in front of us, right? Or something, right? And I go, and my reaction to it is like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not cutting in front. I was just trying to ask how, like having this calm, cool of what he's saying.
Yeah.
But maybe that's the goal, right? So, okay, I noticed that I did that yesterday. That will already help me today to stay a little bit cooler or something, right? And so, but paying attention to it is important, because I think what ends up happening is when I don't pay attention to it, now I'm angry, let's say, every day or every other day or something, right?
Yeah.
Paying attention to it is all of a sudden is like making it.
It makes the progress maybe happen faster. Yeah. And I think also it makes me like appreciate the progress that's already happened. Because what can also happen for me is that, like, let's just take the anger as the example here. Okay, so let's say I have a problem with anger. I'm trying to work on it. And actually, maybe a whole week goes by where I'm not angry at all. And then something happens and I'll go like right back. It'll be the same pattern, same feeling, same behavior, same outcome, all that stuff. And I'll give myself shit on the level of like, well, no progress has happened. Look at you. You're still doing
You're
this.
Still
like,
angry.
This is still happening all the time.
You're all angry all the time, even though there was a huge
a huge
10 days or 7
accomplishment,
days or something. Yeah,
and
yeah,
now
yeah.
I'm hurting myself as if
Very
if
nice.
my trend line isn't already going up into the right.
Very
But my
nice.
trend line is in fact going up into the right, but I need to stop and like be honest with myself about that, because my, myelination or whatever the case is, I'm very much the pity party person. So it's very easy for me to get into a cycle of feeling sorry for myself and why this isn't fair, why is this like this, like all of that kind of stuff. And so I have experienced it when I am in that place where I'm like, wait, hold on. No, like this has been great for a while. That's such an important mechanism for me to bring into my life so that I can even just keep the progress going. Otherwise, the spiral goes into more like negativity.
For sure. Yeah, no, that's right. Even that reminded me of maybe it was worry. It was the other emotion
Yes.
that has similar mechanism as anger, is like like we were talking about, but the worrying, right? And I remember Francis talking about it like you might look back and say, oh my God, I haven't been worried for a month. But then you get again into like, oh my God, I'm worried about this. Oh, I don't get it, or something, right? And then like exactly what you were describing, you're right back into like this punisher, like, oh, I have not achieved that yet because of this instance of anger or worry. That means I'm still this piece of shit who is constantly worried and he's constantly pissed off. Well, that is the place to look, right? And say like, okay, hold on, where's this gratitude of, hey, I haven't been pissed off, I haven't been worried. Oh, nice job, buddy, thank you. Don't worry, tomorrow might be a day where shit's gonna be worrisome or angering, but that's a new instance, and the time between the last one and this one is different. Maybe shorter, maybe longer, but it's different than the previous iteration, right? Therefore, so it's doing something. So it's almost like we should be almost looking at it as the iterations. Like, how long has that been since then? Like that's a cool way of measuring it, because otherwise we go like, no, I'm always pissed off. Well, no, dude, no, it's been 3 weeks, but it just seems like it was yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Super fun. Okay, Ryan, let's do it.
Ryan. Okay. Ryan says, the comedian Jerry Seinfeld once gave a young comic named Brad Isaac some advice about how to write and create material. Keep a calendar, he told him, and each day that you write jokes, put an X. Soon enough, you get a chain going, and then your job is simply not break the chain. Success becomes a matter of momentum. Once you get a little, it's easier to keep it going. Whereas Seinfeld used the chain method to build a positive habit, Epictetus was saying that it can also be used to eliminate a negative one. It's not all that different than taking sobriety one day at a time. Start with one day doing whatever it is, be it managing your temper or wandering eyes or procrastination. Then do the same the following day and the day after that. Build a chain and then work to not break it. Don't ruin your streak.
I love it. That's so cool. Yeah, that's excellent. That's an excellent advice.
Yeah, I really like this part of the book because it's about our actions, so it's by nature very actionable.
It is actionable. I really like it. It is definitely. I've experienced times where I was on a streak of things that I was very proud of. Not breaking that streak in the negative way, or not breaking the streak in the positive. So like practicing guitar, like I would have like, I have to practice every day for X amount of hours, right? So I would be like sitting there and I'm like, And first it was like, oh my God, this is hard or something. But then within a couple of weeks, it's like, oh, I want to do it. And it's like, and then there were days of like, oh, you're going to have to go over there and not do that. And I'm like, no, I got to figure out. Like I would get up 2 hours earlier just to like do it in the morning, just so I don't break that streak. And so there was like this kind of being on the positive streak of your habit or something. And then let's say with like alcohol or cigarettes or something, like, hey, it's been a month, it's been 3 days, it's been so like those distances are being you see them being longer and longer, and you not break, and then you say, I'm not gonna break that streak.
Yeah.
And now you shifted from what you were doing.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful way, because this tells you how to actually do it. Like actually, like step by step, do it like this. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
and speaking from my experience, this exact thing worked on me several different times, states, and
in my opinion, this is the appeal of a habit tracker. And
yeah.
even for the negative stuff, because I put on my habit tracker, for example, naps, because that's actually something I'm trying to break. And so then I can see every time I log a nap, how long has it been since my last one? And I can see like, yes. Wow, yeah, this time last year, I was taking a nap almost every single day. And this time this year, it's like maybe once a week I'll lie down, but it feels more like it's on like more of a monthly cadence at this point. Like when I'm having my period or something, or like I'm emotionally just in like a weird place, like... And I feel great about that growth because I can see the check mark there.
That's so important, and I know how it feels that like tracking something is like what? I'm gonna have to write this down. I'm gonna have to. There's all kinds of tools you can today on your phones and on your computers. Like there's all of these tools to like help us to track things, but there is definitely a shift that even I have to make to say, start tracking it. Like, and then don't break the streak of not tracking it.
And like, because what Jerry, I remember that story from Jerry, and because what he was saying was he just got one of those like 12-month calendars.
And then, and so you see a month and it's like big X, right. Like I did it.
Versus like,
it's like you see it in front of you.
And then I've had a lot of success just with like a Google sheet and just like a month for every tab. And then I have my habits and I have my days and I have check boxes. Then the planner that my boss gave me also had a space for like habit tracking in there. I've heard of apps that do it too. So I feel like
you build like a spreadsheet, right? Like it's
the spreadsheet is actually my favorite one right now.
There's a bunch of check boxes, and then the names of the habit, and then you say, and then you have a month and you just click.
You know what? Actually, if I
maybe we can share it with folks.
I was gonna say, if I remember to do it when I'm uploading this video, I'll put a link to my the habit tracker.
It's gonna be somewhere here. Like people do. I've never done that.
No, it's gonna be somewhere
down here or in here somewhere.
All right, let's wrap this show up.
I know I've never done that. That's fun. Like
I see people do it all the time.
With the link over here. But I was like,
it's just gonna be in the description.
I
will link what I'm currently using for my habit tracker because I think it's the bee's knees. All right, see you tomorrow.
Bye.